with this crazy shape, we need to find the area of this shape. Can we just start multiplying dimensions?
No.
Holy moly. Go ahead and grab 2. Just for funsies at this point. We cannot start just multiplying dimensions. Why? Why can I not just say 9 times 7? We'll give you the area. Why can I not do that? Lucy?
Because we don't have all the dimensions to make one question.
We don't even have all the dimensions. We have that question mark. So we need to figure out first all of our dimensions before we can even start figuring out area, perimeter, whatever the question's asked. Go ahead and highlight or darken, whatever you want to do, your missing side. Right here. What else do I like to highlight or darken to help me figure out the missing side? Susie, what else do I like to find? Just random 6s, that's what I like to...
No.
I'm looking for parallel lines. And one of the parallel lines, you're right, is the 6. I'm going to darken where the 6 is. Is there anything else? Emma?
9.
The 9. Okay, so I found parallel lines. Now what? Now what? So what? And you're going to be sitting down too behind you, please. Because what would I do?
You would like make a number line, which your biggest number, which is 9.
Yeah, I'm going to make a number line. I know that my longest line is worth 9.
And then you'll put in yours.
Then I'll pull my other parallel lines down. I'll pull my 6. I want my lines to be equal. Don't make these lines random. And then my question mark. Very good. And then we treat this like a part whole situation. My whole is the 9. My parts are the 6 and the question mark. What does my question mark have to be to make this true? Lucy? My question mark has to be 3. Because 6 plus 3 gives me 9. Alright, we have found the missing side. Now what? Now what? Damien, now what do I do?
Now you split into two rectangles.
I'm going to break apart my crazy shape into some rectangular shapes. Where would you like to do that, Damien?
I would like to go across.
You're going to go across? Okay. Could Damien have chosen to go down?
Yes.
Yeah. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter in terms of getting the answer. It's just breaking it up a slightly different way. Did you have a question?
Can you just take a note that the 3, 2, and 2?
So it's literally what it just said. Listen and think about what I'm saying instead of raising your hand and thinking about what you're saying. That's what it just said. Alright, if we're going to break it into these rectangles, we got to cover it up. So cover up our bottom rectangle with your arm. Only look at that top rectangle to see, what's going to be our equation? What's going to be our equation to find area? Because now I have a 7, a 6, a 5. What am I going to use to find the area of just that top rectangle? I got a couple dimensions there. I got 7, 6, 5. What am I going to use? Georgina, what am I going to use?
You use your 5 and your 6. Because your 7 doesn't go all the way down.
My 7 goes way too far. My 7 goes way down here.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, and I can't use that. My rectangle is only right here. So I'm going to have a 6 by 5 rectangle, which will give me a squared area of what, Dylan? 30. now that we've done the top rectangle question. Okay, go. So cover up your top rectangle so we're not looking at so much, not confusing our brain. What are we going to write for our area equation for that bottom rectangle? I still got a 7, I got a 3 somewhere over there, a 2, a 9. What am I going to use to find the area of that bottom rectangle? Sam? Yeah, my 7 goes up way too high. This 3, does it go all the way across? No. No, so I couldn't use the 3. So my area equation, the dimensions that I'm going to use are a 9 by 2, which is what's going to be the area of that shape. Brian? 18 units squared. Now what? Now what? Gabriella, now what do I do?
Perimeter.
Do I need to find the perimeter?
Oh no.
So why would I do the perimeter?
Because you might want to know what's the
I don't want to know the outcome.
No wait, you gotta add, that's only half of the, or you cut the whole thing on half.
Yeah, we've only figured out some parts of our area. We figured out the top part and the bottom part. We need to figure out the whole area by adding them together. 30 plus 18, that's a pretty easy one to do in your head. That's pretty easy mental math. Gabriella, pay a little more attention to me instead of that crayon. Gord, what you got?
48.
48 units squared. Some of you might recognize this question. You will see questions like this on the EOG. You've seen them on the benchmark, you've seen them on the check-in. It reads, which expression could be used to find the total area of the figure? These should look relatively familiar. But there's a lot of numbers here. I highly recommend you use that cross-out strategy like we use in reading to help your brain. Because when I look at that, I'm like, oh my gosh, so many numbers, so many symbols. So I always cross out as I go along till I get the answer. What equations do these look like? You've written these equations before. What do they look like to you? Kaylin? These are break-apart equations. These are break-apart equations. You've done them. You have done them. Let's look at answer choice A. Let's go through this together. A 9 by 7. Did we have a 9 by 7 in this shape?
No.
Could we do a 9 by 7?
No.
Why not? I'm going to erase this work that we did in the middle, just so you can look at the shape again. Can I do 9 times 7?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No?
It still gives you the same answer. No, it doesn't.
Will it?
Yeah. No. No.
Ella, what do you think?
Yes.
I'm asking Ella. Okay. So can I do 9 times 7? Yes or no?
No.
No, that is not a full array. I got this giant chunk over here missing. So can I ever come up with a rectangle with this shape that's a 9 by 7?
No.
No. So is answer choice A going to be right?
No.
No. If one part's not right, the whole thing's not right. Cross out A. Alright, let's look at B. A 7 by 9.
No. It's just the same thing. It's the same thing.
Is a 7 by 9 gonna work?
No.
Just figured that out. Alright, so let's look at the bottom two answer choices. A 9 by 2. We did have a 9 by 2. Remember we went across this way. That was a 9 by 2. Are we good with that?
Yes.
So did we have a 9 by 2?
Yes.
Yes. All right. What about a 6 by 7?
No.
Is it?
No.
Do we have a 6 by 7?
Yes.
No.
No.
3 by 2? Oh, wait, let's back up. I jumped too far ahead. Some of you are saying crazy stuff to me. Could we make a 6 by 7?
Yes. Yes.
Portia said yes. Where could I make a 6 by 7?
Splitting the 5 and 2.
If I split it this way, can I make a 6 by 7?
Yes. I'll do it.
What about a 3 by 2?
Yeah.
This was a 3.
So my answer still equals 48.
So these problems that you'll see on the EOG are gotcha problems. You know how to do this mathematically, but they want to see who's going to get freaked out by all these numbers. If you take it step by step, that was not super tricky. It wasn't too bad. But when you first see that and you look at all those numbers, it's intimidating. So take it step by step. You know how to do break apart. You know how to write these equations. Don't get freaked out by all those numbers. What you need, Mason? So sometimes you'll see these and you broke it apart a different way. And you're like, man, I don't know. This is not the same equation. Doing what Mason just did where he found the mini equations and then found the total area, that works too. I will tell you, you might see these problems on the calculator active, and you will get this question wrong if you just type it straight like this in the calculator. There is a reason those parentheses are there. You have to do what's in the parentheses first. You can't just say 6 times 7 plus 3 plus 2 or times 2, because it's going to start doing this and then this and then this and then this. It's going to junk up your answer. So if you choose to do it this way, do the parentheses first. Do what's in that little hug first. Okay, 6 times 7 is 42, and I know 3 times 2 is 6. Then you can do the rest of it. Yeah?
On the calculator, are there the parentheses or not?
I would really advise you not use them, because third graders have no purpose using parentheses. I can't guarantee that they're on there or not. There are calculators out there that have parentheses. I don't know what you're going to get. So I'd rather you just do it this way, right here, and you'll be safe.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. We good? All right, let's try a word problem.
Oh.
You don't need to write it down. So we have Sarah's bedroom is 7 by 13 feet. She has space in her bedroom for studying that is 7 by 3 feet. What is the area of Sarah's bedroom? Go ahead and read it again in your head. Write an answer sentence. You can draw a line underneath the problem we just did to get this one put up in your notebook.
Bedroom is like square.
Ooh, I love it. The area of Sarah's and you're right. So instead of doing units, we would do feet squared or square feet, however you want to write it. But great job, Courtney. All right, what's next? We know if we go through our steps, we need to make a model. What kind of model would make sense to draw? What are we going to draw? We got to draw something.
A bar model.
Susie, thanks for raising your hand. What are we going to draw? Are we? Does that make sense?
No.
Probably just a rectangle. The room is 7 by 13. That sounds like a rectangle to me. I need to label it. Okay. 7 feet by 13 feet. I'm going to continue labeling all sides because that's a good habit to be in. Sarah's bedroom is 7 feet by 13 feet. Did I do that? Sweet. Next sentence. She has a space in her bedroom that is 7 feet by 3 feet. Where might that be? If she had a space that was 7 feet by 3 feet, where might that be in her bedroom? What do you think, Parker? What do you mean by that? Like what? Oh, so maybe it's right here, and that is broken into a 10 and a 3. Does that give her her 7 by 3 studying space?
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is right here. Susie, if I'm writing, you're writing. So what is the area of Sarah's bedroom? Well, now I have 2 sections. So what am I going to do now? Because now I have 2 sections going on. Brian, what could I do? Yep. What could I do? Lucy, what am I going to do? Yeah, we can do, this is just a break apart problem. We got 7 times 10 on this side, and then 3 times 7 in this part. What is 7 times 10? Dylan? 70. What is 3 times 7? That's going to be a little trickier of a problem for most of you. Pick a strategy and do it. 2s are really close to 3s. Allie, what is it? What? 21. Now what? Now what? Georgiana, now what?
The area of Sarah's bedroom is 9 square.
Feet squared, square feet. Beautiful. We add up our 2 mini areas, our 2 partial areas, and we go from there. Show me with your thumb how you feel about just missing side. Finding just the missing side, like we did in